What's up everybody? So I compared a lot of Android phones and I reviewed a lot this year, and one of them that I haven't done yet was the OnePlus 3, and this phone actually came out in 2016, so it's almost 2 years old. Actually, it's a little bit over 2 years old because it came out in June of 2016. And this phone honestly is one of my favorite phones I've ever seen. I don't know if it's one of my favorite yet. I will get into that at the end of this video, whether you should still get it, but let's just see how it holds up, right? Now the cool thing is that this phone actually has somewhat of an AMOLED screen. It's optic AMOLED, so the blacks are pitch black and it's a very good screen. I like it a lot. The thing is, it's only 1080p, which isn't that big of a deal. You know, my 7 Plus's screen is 1080p, so it really doesn't bother me. And I actually kind of prefer a screen that isn't necessarily 1440p or higher, because it means it doesn't need all those pixels to push on the screen and stuff. It's 5.5 inches too, so it's a good size. Now when this thing came out, it actually got Android 6.0.1, and it is actually upgradable to Android 8.0 Oreo, so that's actually a very good thing and a very good sign that these phone manufacturers are pushing updates. I am unsure as of now whether it is getting Android 9, but if I had to put money on it, I would probably say it's not getting Android 9.0. And overall performance and everything of me using this phone was super solid. I don't really have too much to complain about. The build quality is solid. I love OnePlus's build quality. I think the OnePlus 1 felt a little weird, but the OnePlus 2 and this phone feels super awesome. I don't feel like it's gonna break. I don't necessarily think it's gonna fall, or I don't even know why it would fall, but the volume buttons, the ringer switch, the one little critique I have, and it's a very, very small one. I do wish the power button was like rigid or something like that, so I can tell and kind of feel it, because it kind of feels a little like plain right now. It's kind of like the ringer switcher. I wish it was kind of like that, but whatever. And looking at the bottom, it actually takes USB Type-C, which is super awesome and kind of future-proof this phone a little bit. And it actually does have a fingerprint sensor, which is pretty decent. It's pretty accurate. I love the Taptic engine in it. I don't think it's necessarily as good as some other phones, but it's pretty decent. And it actually also has capacitive buttons on the bottom of the screen, right next to the fingerprint sensors. So that's a little run through of the body. If you haven't seen one yet, now you know. And now let's talk about some of the performance aspects. It has a Qualcomm A20 processor, a quad-core processor clocked at 2.15 gigahertz, an Adreno 530 GPU, and 6 gigabytes of RAM. And from those specs alone, you can obviously paint the picture that this phone has no problems with performance and it's extremely fast. And even if you kept it stock, it'd be extremely fast. But what I did was I actually installed a custom ROM on it and I rooted it. And I haven't done this with a phone in a while, but I figured this phone was super easy to do. Now the problem was I didn't have a USB-C to USB-A or whatever my MacBook has charger. So I actually had to go to the store and get a USB-C charger for that, because all my ones are USB-C to USB-C. So I did it and I ended up rooting it and I ROM'd it and I threw an AOKP ROM on it, and it's super solid. I had an Android 8.0 ROM for it a little bit, and performance I think is even better than what I had it on stock. So this is why I always tell people and I recommend them to download a custom ROM on your phone, because it makes it so much faster and you get so many more features too. Now this isn't necessarily a ROM review, so I'm not going to go into detail about that, but there's a lot more features within, but even with Oxygen OS, which is the stock OnePlus software, that's very good too. So it's really just up to you what you want in a phone. Like, do you want more features in a phone or do you want less features? But you also have to remember, when you throw a custom ROM on, you're losing a little bit of stability. So that's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, gaming, performance, everything I've ever done with this phone is super fast. I would say this is still one of the faster phones I've tested up until now. And I've tested like the Galaxy S8 and all these other phones, and this is definitely up on like the top 10 or top 15 phones that I've tested of this year. So, and that's actually saying a lot. Now the camera sensor is pretty decent. It's 16 megapixels. It has optical image stabilization and it's okay. It can shoot 4K videos at 30 frames per second and 1080p videos at 60 frames per second. I don't know if it's amazing though. The video quality for me isn't too amazing, and it only has one sensor, which doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. The Google Pixel XL original one had only one sensor, and that had amazing video and photo quality, but just something about it, I'm not really too sure what's wrong with it necessarily. And I don't think they can fix it with like a software update or something, but it's very average. I would say if I had to put a number on it, I would probably put it around like a 7 to 7.5. The camera is definitely one of the weaker aspects of this phone. The front camera is 8 megapixels, and that's really all I gotta say about that. Now the battery life is pretty interesting because it's 3,000 mAh, and battery life isn't too amazing. Standby time is pretty good though, but when you're actually using the phone, because it's so powerful, it does kind of take a hit on battery life. So I would probably end the day around like 10%, so I would have to charge it by the end of the day. And the sad thing is it's not removable, so you can't switch out the battery or anything like that, which does kind of suck a little bit, but as long as you have a charger near you, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But just keep in mind that definitely the battery life is one of the weaker aspects of this phone. Now some other notable things to note, this phone does have a headphone jack, so that's definitely a good thing. I think 2016 was the year that headphone jacks were starting to go away, so this phone has it still. It does have a ringer switch on the side, so you can put your phone on silent or on ring. all in the same way, so that's pretty convenient. And like I said before, if you haven't got the message, this phone is rootable and you can throw a custom ROM on it, and that definitely is a huge factor when I'm recommending a phone, at least for me personally. And the build quality is amazing. So would I recommend the OnePlus 3 in 2018? I would say yes, without a doubt. It's a very, very good phone. Really, the only downside is that you can only get it in a 64GB capacity. But even then, I mean, for a decent phone for that, I mean, you can get this around like $150, probably less. It's super solid, awesome build quality. You can throw a ROM on it and you're good to go. And I would definitely recommend this phone. But if you want something with a little bit more support and possibly that can last you a little bit longer than this, maybe, I would kind of recommend the Google Pixel XL because that's also a very awesome phone as well. I definitely like both of them. I like the Pixel XL a little bit more than this, but it also is just a little bit more expensive than this. So if you're in the market, I would definitely recommend the OnePlus 3. It's an awesome phone. If you can get a really good price on it, then yeah. But if you can also get a really good price on the Pixel XL, I'd probably recommend that more than this. But that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it at, guys. If you want to pick up a OnePlus 3 or a Google Pixel XL, please get them through the link in the description. I'll leave links there. I'll find the lowest price for you and I'll put them down there. If you get it through that link, it helps out the channel so I can do more videos like this. So I'd really, really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions or anything, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'll try my best to get back to you. Probably not, but I'll read your comment. Hit that like button, but definitely hit that subscribe button. We're still giving away an iPhone 6s and an iPhone SE on the channel, and in order to enter, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both those links are down in the description, so make sure you enter that. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys, and hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.